Have you ever had an emotion come over you that you felt like you couldn't control?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
See some red nods, yes. Yeah, you might get nervous before you have to give a speech like this. You might get angry when someone cuts you off in traffic. Well, I've learned the best way to control my emotions is by training a monkey to play instruments. And you will learn how to do that as well. Let me tell you why I felt the need to control my emotions in the first place. After I graduated college, I got a job at an insurance brokerage, and I had to go to a lot of meetings at the brokerage. And I had to meet with clients, new people every day, business partners, internal meetings, and I'd get nervous during the meetings. I'd be nervous before the meetings, nervous during the meetings, and nervous after the meetings. It was a never-ending cycle of anxiety. One example of how this affected me on the job was I was in the meeting with the president of the company and about 5 other people, including my boss, and just as a background, the president of the company was running the meeting, and he had a tendency to get off topic, and he's kind of a know-it-all, which annoyed me a little bit, but it's his company, he can do what he wants. So he's running the meeting, and he's going on his normal routine about, let me tell you about insurance in North Dakota, blah, blah, blah. You know, I went to North Dakota when I was 9 years old. I can feel people rolling their eyes internally, just being like, oh my God, get to the point, hurry up. But they're nodding along, smiling, going along with the stories. And he sees me nodding, and he says, oh, Mark, you've been to North Dakota? And I was nervous that he called on me, a little angry that he called on me. And I said, no, I'm just agreeing with everything that you said. A few people in the room laughed, but I looked over at the president, and he was not laughing. He was taken aback at first, looked a little angry, and he moved on with the meeting. Of course, after the meeting, I was staring at my phone. Am I going to get fired? Is that next call going to come? Meeting with my boss. Am I going to get fired? I don't know what's going to happen next, but I do know that I need to get my anxiety under control. I was talking with a friend about this, and he recommended meditation to me. My friend's name is Greg, and I liken him to a golden retriever, very happy-go-lucky, effortlessly optimistic, enviable life. But he was telling me that he has emotions that he finds difficult to control. And he recommended meditation to me. At first I was skeptical, it sounds kind of hippy-dippy, but I figured I have nothing to lose, might as well give it a shot. So I downloaded an app he recommended called Headspace, and the instructions were very simple. Focus on the breath coming in and out of the nostrils. When you get distracted, come back to the breath. Repeat. Focus on the breath coming in and out of the nostrils. When you get distracted, come back to the breath. Sounds very simple. When you sit down and meditate, it's actually very difficult. Your mind gets distracted very easily. The Buddha, when he was teaching meditation 2,500 years ago, called it monkey mind. And there's actually a scene in The Simpsons, I think, to illustrate what happens in your mind very well. Homer and Marge are talking, and Homer's kind of the dumb husband, if you don't know The Simpsons, and Marge is the wife. And Marge says, Homer, I really need you to listen to me. This is important. I know your mind has a tendency to wander. And 1 second later, it zooms in on what's going on in Homer's head, and it's a little monkey with a little hat and a vest on. And he's banging cymbals together and doing backflips. Figured this is the perfect analogy of what's going on in your mind when you first start meditating. You're not literally thinking of a monkey doing backflips, but the quality of some of your thoughts, you might as well be. But eventually, I get the monkey under control, and I'm getting better at meditation. And getting better at meditation means you get better at life. I'm not getting nervous before meetings. I'm not as nervous during meetings, some anxiety during meetings, but it's natural. And after meetings, it's almost completely gone. It's helping me a lot. So you might be thinking to yourself now, I don't get nervous during meetings. I don't need to meditate. Well, as human beings, we all have emotions that we find difficult to control at times. You might not get nervous during meetings, but you might get angry when you're talking with your significant other. 30 years of marriage, I'm sure that happens every now and then.
Occasionally.
Yeah. Or you might have ADD and you can't focus on your work. Everybody has something that they could improve in their psyche, and meditation is a great way to do that. It won't completely eliminate your anger or your anxiety or your ADD, but it'll greatly diminish it. The monkey in your mind may put down the loud cymbals and pick up a quieter instrument, like the maracas. Viktor Frankl wrote in one of my favorite books, Man's Search for Meaning, everything can be taken from a man, except one thing, the last of the human freedoms, and that is to control one's own attitude in any set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. And I think meditation is a great way of doing that. So don't monkey around with your mind. Meditate.